commendations. And I'm wanna, guess I'm telling those commendations, all right. Have a congratulations to Kelly Gumtow, school counselor, for receiving the Utica National 2022 Teacher Heroes Award. That's awesome. Yeah. And also, congratulations to Anna Mest for the Cattaraugus County Youth Bureau Youth Citizenship Award recipient from July 26, 2022. We've had a number
Quite a few
of recipients for that. So I think that speaks really highly. And if you read through those, our kids are doing,
awesome things.
it's just wonderful, wonderful to see all of that. We're gonna miss that that class, that's for sure. So, and as I move on to communications, we have not received any communications since our last meeting. So, and we've already had our public comment. So I'm gonna move down to the very end, which is to remove from the table policy number 5684. I need a motion to remove it from the table so that we can discuss it. Moving on. Thank you, Julio. And Jim seconded it. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we've removed that policy from the table. Now we have some discussion items. We've got the DEI work group. Dr. Morris, have we, I know that's a standing, discussion item. Have we anything to report on that at this point? I know we're working towards getting going again for the school year. So, and Kelly's not here for the district engagement group that previously was TABS. But I would like to say though that in the district engagement group, the nominate people. We've got 2 awards that we are giving from that group, and you can go right to the website and you can nominate. Not completely positive on. There's the one that's Mr. Shoup's award. Then there's, what's the other one called? What is it?
Leader of the pack.
Leader of the pack. That's right. No one speaks on this one. We're leading. Have we done anything to advertise it? Well,
That's a good idea. I mean,
maybe not.
I can't answer how many submissions we've gotten at this time, because they don't come directly to me. The person who's received them is not able to share that right at the second. But as soon as I'm aware of how many nominees, then I can share it out, so the committee can then take action.
That would be probably a good idea if we had how many people participated in the voting. That way we can try to get it increased.
Because I think it's our intention to award that.
Yes.
So
Anything
Soon.
starting a new thing, sometimes it takes time.
August,
Right.
August 31st. So I know that Kelly couldn't be here tonight. And she may be zooming in at our next meeting, but we'll definitely get with her and see if we can't push that out and get some more communication on that. So, and then we also have letter C, policy review. These are the 2 policies that we're going to talk about: the surveillance cameras in the school district and the school buses. That's the 3rd reading, and then we've got also the suicide 2nd reading. So this is where we discuss them.
Yep.
So does everybody have the policies today? So the big question was the surveillance on the school buses, and Dr. Morris sent to all of us last week in the interweekly email to us what that entailed. So does anybody have any questions or discussions or anything like that?
I don't think most of this covered under state law.
Yes, but there were some questions about the use of the video and or audio recordings or footage And so we received clarification from our legal team about how to word it so that it is comprehensive.
And that we will definitely have the signage up that indicates it. So that was the big holdup, was the, if I'm not mistaken, was the videoing and the audio on the buses, right?
Yep, we have signs, we've had signs up on the buses, so my understanding is the only location that we have audio recording is on the buses.
And that's okay, as long as we have the signs up saying that. So this is our third reading on it, so.
The bus companies actually provide the signage on the buses. As they install the cameras, they automatically put the signage up.
Okay,
Additionally, I received feedback earlier from the OESPA asking if there could be additional language added about the paragraph in the sentence that related to video and audio recordings or footage from distant surveillance, district surveillance cameras may be used in student or employee disciplinary proceedings where applicable. About fourth paragraph down.
so is it under disciplinary proceedings?
Yes,
And so remove as appropriate,
correct. And
just say where,
well, I spoke where I touched bases with the attorney, and the attorney said if we wanted to make that a little bit more clear, we could add the following language, which is, comma, when determined by the administration that the video or audio would provide additional insight into the conduct that has been alleged to violate a law, district policy, or rule. So that way it's no longer ambiguous.
Nope.
And there's,
Right.
so that as appropriate
Attorney.
or where
Yeah.
applicable,
you could
it's,
say as applicable, which is in there right now, or they also provided this additional language that just says,
very
if-
specifically.
yeah, that if there is an allegation of a violation of conduct that has broken the law, a district policy, or a rule, then that's when that recording may be consulted, audio or video.
I suppose we can get rid of as appropriate, because like, it's not a legal terminology.
Yeah, that's, yeah. that's what we're saying.
It's appropriate, I think of that.
Accessible by whom? Like, it's the-
Oh.
What it is.
At the administration.
That's all.
The administrative review, so for disciplinary proceedings only, that's when this would be consulted, only when there may be additional insight that could be provided by the review of those recordings. So to help demonstrate additional evidence that would prove something about breaking of the
Sure.
law or policy or rule.
And that's only if we still even have the recording. Still,
Exactly.
because, depends on when we would get that request or need that additional information, so.
By the way, do we, in Rochester and or Buffalo, is there any disclaimers on the sort of recording?
They're signing on the buses.
No, I mean, in the school. So
In the schools.
I had to think about that.
I don't remember.
Should we?
I think we discussed that.
It does, it says the district will place signage at entrances to the school campus or
Oh,
major
I-
entrances
okay.
into the school buildings, notifying student staff as well as any visitors of the district's use of surveillance cameras. And in all honesty, if you're in our schools and you don't know that we're
Well,
recording you,
but
then where are you coming
standard
from?
disclaimer.
So, yeah, it's there. And Jenny, you said the signage is.
Yep.
Is there, right? I mean,
Yeah, we've had it on the buses for years.
And here too, at the
On the
entrances in
buildings?
the buildings.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what it's saying, the district place signage at entrances to the school campus or at major entrances into school buildings, notifying everybody of the use of surveillance cameras.
There you go, Mr.
There
Chair.
are some, like, I'm thinking of the bathrooms downstairs, it's not really official signage though, but it's something about smiling at the camera or something like that.
And it also
Oh,
says
yeah,
that
we should put something in
will
there.
receive additional notification as deemed appropriate by the superintendent regarding the use of its surveillance cameras through means such as publication in the district calendar, employee handbook, and or the student handbook. That's all in there.
I would just like to clarify it's not. So second paragraph, it's further surveillance cameras will be placed in public or common areas such as stairwells, hallways, cafeterias, parking lots, or playgrounds, and not private areas such as lockers, bathrooms, and other areas, which individuals have a reasonable expectation of privacy. Does that include potentiality for a camera?
In a what?
It's a
No,
classroom. It
no,
does not.
no.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify.
You can't do that. in certain areas.
That's-
Yeah. It's covered.
Although just like, there is a difference, just so everybody's clear, between like a regular classroom and say a library or a gymnasium where.
That's, my understanding of the classroom is sort of a liminal space between public.
Those kind of work.
So Jenny, I guess if we're gonna have this as our policy, we're gonna make sure we get our signage
Yeah,
up and
I will,
start getting it
Yep.
in publications too.
So that would be cover all the entrance ways.
I mean, maybe even in, you know, in a
I think that's what this
newsletter
policy
that's
is saying.
going out, maybe that, you know, just so you know.
There's policy.
There's actions to be done, yep. So is there any further discussion on that policy? I feel like we've really discussed that policy really well. Anything else? Then let's move on to the name of this policy, but the suicide policy.
It was,
Suicide
prevention awareness response, I want to say. That was proposed last meeting.
Yes,
That's how we do it.
change the name.
Well, it's
Change the name of it.
It's already in one of our paragraphs, suicide prevention.
Mhm.
Well, awareness and response. It doesn't, it's one, it's disingenuous, it's just kind of.
Sounds horrible.
It just seems insensitive, yeah.
Subject suicide.
It reads like a bad episode of something.
So we want to change the name.
Yep.
And then, is there anything else in here that?
Are you going to include Mary Fay's recommendations that she discussed?
Yes.
So the
I wrote it
second
down.
paragraph, she was concerned regarding the omission of parent. So at the end of that paragraph,
I think it was third paragraph.
I'm sorry, third paragraph. After administrator and to the parents and or guardians.
I always run that by the lawyers. So that's-
Yeah, and I go along with Mary's recommendation. There,
Is there a reason why we didn't include parents before? I mean, or is that a legal concept?
Well, and so the thing is, we can't just add as parents, because as it's written here, it could be construed as when district staff becomes aware that it's the district staff's responsibility, right, not the administrators. I would assume it would be the administrator's responsibility.
So if you have parents that are separated or something else, that, you know, with the parents, but that's pretty broad.
Well, and some people are not the parent, they're the guardian.
Guardians, yeah, I can see the guardian, but. I don't know.
So, okay, so when district staff become aware of a student exhibiting potential suicidal behavior, they should immediately escort the student to a member of the district's crisis intervention team and report the behavior to an administrator.
It would then be the administrator's responsibility.
And then
So it's like then we report, yeah.
who's subsequently, yes. Yeah.
So you want to add that?
But I'm just bringing it up.
Well, just because if we just add that, the way that sentence is structured.
It sounds like district staff notify administrator and then district staff notifies parents.
Yeah, that's exactly how it reads. You're exactly right, that, you know, we should immediately escort the student to a member of the crisis and report the behavior to an administrator. then if we add and to the
Return or
guardian or
something.
parents, it would fall on that staff member to now contact the parents. And is that what we want, or do we want the administrator to be the person who contacts the parents?
I think
Or-
the administrator for sure,
Yeah.
but I think we can take that into advisement and say we do want to do it, but kick it back and come back to it. Because there's a second part that Mary wanted to talk about as well.
Right.
Which was
Where's that at now?
it wasn't in there at all. It's
Right.
the reintegration plan.
For a
Or,
student
Discuss.
returning, for a student returning to school. Sorry, I can't read your writing. For a student returning to school with mental health crisis, the mental health counselor, professional principal, administrator shall meet with students, parents / guardians and students to discuss reentry.
Yeah, some kind of, and there's no paragraph in there that would, maybe would fit, that would be a separate paragraph. But
It would have to be.
it might even be a different.
So I
And then who's making that?
We would have to have separate paragraph.
I think the question on that though is how far do we want to go in a policy as opposed to the
That might even go under a separate policy altogether as far as the reentry phase.
It might, I don't know.
So in terms of the first proposal where the notification, I don't know if that necessarily needs to be codified in the policy. Because in our safety plan, we talk about communication responses to specific events and when you involve parents and the notification tree. So that's part of our safety plan already, our district safety plan. And each school has one as well. So the notification in the process that people respond, they used to respond to emergency events such as a suicide attempt are defined in those two plans. And I don't know if it necessarily needs to also be codified in this particular policy because it's in our plans that we have to create and submit every year.
Yeah, we don't need to. add
And we
procedures
refer to those
for
policies
policy.
at the end when we say,
right.
refer also to policies 5681, which is the school safety plan.
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't think we need that. And then the second one, I'm not sure if I'm clear about what exactly, are we saying that we want to make sure that they have a plan that includes parents to, when they're reentering?
Well,
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
it be
want them to be
procedures
part
there?
Just be here.
Yeah, that's what I was also trying to clarify. It sounds like that's also procedural. And
Yes,
therefore it should be included in the plan.
right.
What you got?
So maybe while the request for edit was laudable, it's a procedure, and the procedure is described and defined in the safety plan.
Okay.
So we just leave it.
Yeah, it should be written. So changing the title, right?
Yes.
But changing the title, yes.
We're all unanimous.
Good catch.
Okay, good. So I'm going to then move on to, if everyone's okay with that, I'm gonna move on to the board report. And so we've been busy. So Kelly and I in July attended the law conference up in Rochester and got a wealth of information. It's quick, short day. It goes by fast and they're talking fast and giving us all kinds of good stuff. And Vicki, I promise I'm going to send you that information on that. And I will send it out to everybody so that everybody can see what we went over in that. So it was good. We learned a lot. Big thing on teacher shortages, and creative ways of trying to fill those positions. And we also went over that at the next thing that I will discuss, which was our board retreat that we went to for the first time at Holiday Valley. I think we would say that it was definitely a great learning experience. And
Yeah, it was actually impressive.
everyone that attended, you know, again, you can always use more time. We tried to squeeze out every moment that we possibly could, but we have developed some good goals and direction moving forward. And I think that was huge. Just a great time to be able to discuss that. And then the rest of the administration came and Dr. Morris was able to talk with them. And I'm sure you'll go over more of that when I turn that over to you. But yes, so we've been busy, we've been doing a lot. And so I will now turn that over to you, Dr. Morris, for your report. I'm doing a better job than me.
Oh, can we have like the NISBA convention?
Oh, yes, you did tell me that too, so we wanted to make sure that we talked about that. So, we need to let Vicky know if you have not already, if you're planning on going to the NISBA conference. Right now, it's Kelly and I and
Dr.
Dr. Morris.
Dr. Morris is the speaker.
Yes, yes. So,
Jim, you indicated that.
He's
I
right.
was interested, but I'm all out of vacation time, so.
Okay, well, I did make a reservation, so if we have to change the name, I can do that.
okay.
I'll
And I
see
know
what I can
Ira said he's attending through BOCES. So that means we do have
Wait,
an extra. Just looking around here to see. But yes, check your calendars and please get back to Vicky as soon as possible. She's done a great job of trying to get us a place to stay while we're there, and Kelly and I are looking forward to attending. So
It's October 21.
It's October 27th through the 29th.
Sneak in some time.
yes, we're going with signs for Dr. Morris. Sorry, superintendent. So yes, sorry, Vicky, you wanted me to, let's just say that night. All right, Dr. Morris, you're on.
Thank you. So I just wanted to touch on two brief things tonight. One is I wanted to talk about the fact that we did have our administrative retreat, and the administrators had a great time. We did a breakout activity. We had to collaborate to break into a box. It was pretty fun. And there were some interesting surprises in that box once we did break in, so that was great. We had a good morning where we met with other districts, and we were able to talk about some work that would help us support the dignity of all of our students. We were very excited about that. And then we spent the afternoon before breaking into that box, talking about our reentry and our reopening school processes and making sure we're all on board and set to reopen the schools. So we were very excited. We continued that conversation today in our first leadership team meeting that we had of the year. So that's been great as well. And what I was going to do, but I can save this the full blown element of it for a posting maybe online. I was going to go over my 100-day entry plan. And so rather than go through an entire presentation tonight, I'll just talk very high level, and then I'll make sure that it's posted so that everyone has accessibility to it. But I just wanted to make sure that the board and the public was aware that there is a plan. And the plan is revolving around making sure that I'm listening and learning about the district processes and the goals that we have setting for the district and how we will implement that. The first 3 months, I want to spend collecting that information so that then we can go down the process of creating a strategic plan. So maybe midway through the fall, we'll start in earnest recruiting and getting community participation as well on that strategic plan process. But I really just wanted to say it's linked to this larger entry plan that I have for entering the school district and making sure that we are all prepared and ready to support the entry for our students. I will post that online. Additionally, there was an element of it that I wanted to make sure that everybody knows my completion rate of the plan. So that'll be also posted as well, so everybody is aware of what I'm doing and what it has to do with the plan.
And it feels good to be able to talk about a strategic plan and, you know, I mean, the last couple of years have been so up in the air with everything, you know, that you feel like you've just been so focused on that, just getting through the day. And I still think we're in that situation in some instances, but it feels really good to look forward and look into the future and see where we really want this district to be down the road. And it's a perfect time with our new superintendent and you know, and we're all forward thinking, and I think that came out loud and clear in our board retreat that, you know, we all have upward and onward is where we want to go. So yeah, so I'm encouraged by that. Thank you. Thank you.
Question for us. COVID shots, are we?
So I did meet with the Cattaraugus County Health Team today, and they are waiting for a notification from the New York State Health Department regarding how schools should proceed moving forward. But as of this moment, there are no specific health protocols that have been requested for schools to adopt. going into the school year.
Oh,
That's not part of my
get
plan.
another shot.
Not part of the
What the heck?
strategic plan.
Unfortunately, monkeypox is a lot harder to contract than,
Yeah, but it lasts longer though.
well, we won't get into details on monkeypox. I won't do that to you. So you rub your eye.
Well, that's great. Does anybody else have any questions for Dr. Morris?
Not till the next virus shows up.
The current one is still here, but yeah. So, all right, well, thank you. Thank you very much. No committee reports, because we just had our first operations committee meeting yesterday. I do want to do a shout out to Julio. Led a very productive yet efficient meeting.
Way to go.
Yes.
Haven't been out of an operations committee meeting like that in a long time.
Okay.
So that was excellent. So he did a great job, and I want to commend him on his leadership on that committee. We're going to do great things on that committee. So thank you. So now I just need a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Sure.
Jim, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Andrew. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Let me get now to where I need to go with all my stuff here with I'm down to number 10, new business. So I need a motion to abolish 2 11-month keyboard specialist positions. Thanks, Jim. I need a second. Ira, I see you up there, even without my glasses. I
So
can see.
moved, yeah.
Sorry. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that motion is carried. I need a motion to abolish 2 5.75-hour teacher aide positions.
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now we're going to create two 12-month keyboard specialist positions. I need a motion for that, please.
Move.
Thank you, Jim. And a second?
I will.
Thank you, Dan. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now I need a motion because we're going to create another committee called the Curriculum Committee. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Julio. Thank you, Julio. Any discussion? Yeah, there will be once we get going on it. All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We are going to create one school counselor position, and I see that we did have that it was going to be funded utilizing ARP funds, but it is not now. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I need a
Make that
motion.
motion.
Thank you, Andrew. Jim? You gotta keep my eye on Ira up there.
So this will give us how many?
Any discussion? Yeah, so
Yeah. We're just one place.
yeah, that's what we were asking.
Two.
So are we still looking to create a school counseling position using ARP funding, or are we not? Because I have to play Janine now. Are we gonna use all that funding up by the time,
Well,
because I
we're
mean,
gonna-
it's a
We're gonna
concern.
burn right through that.
So, well, we only have so much time. And then we did hear, let's be honest, that money funding is going to then become
Mhm.
not
Yeah, she-
so plentiful.
Couple years.
So, I mean, so when I'm looking at that, I'm wondering, and I'm saying to myself, so it was going to be a position funded for the next 2 years. We're not, so,
Yeah, because we don't want to give anybody false impression.
all right.
Okay,
So
so
this
I-
particular one, yeah.
I'll give you the information about this particular. This counselor position has been funded through the general fund for Karen Odell's TOSA position. So the position is being created because it was previously a TOSA. We're trying to move away from TOSAs as much as possible. So she's doing counselor work, working with students who have autistic needs and behavior.
Oh,
So it's just conversion.
So she will no longer be on a TOSA, she will be a school counselor, specializing with students with autistic needs. Now, that begs the question, so we will not be filling a position that she's vacating now, is that correct? No, okay. All right, just check, okay. All right. Is there any other discussion?
All right, call the vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. That motion is carried. I need a motion to accept the district's comprehensive improvement plan for this school year.
Lisa.
Lee, thank you. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion. We've got some new teachers and teaching assistants. They need some hours for professional development and curriculum.
Yes, we do.
We added a new person that we're going to be talking about later on here. Can I have a motion? Thank you. You know what, Julio, I'm gonna grab Ira and I'm gonna have you second. Thank you. Is there any discussion on that? Thank you. That's good. It's great to give these guys some hours to get started, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to approve the contract between the district and Connecting Communities in Action. Thank you, Dan.
Second.
Thank you, Andrew. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to approve the agreement with ESI Group. Employee Assistance Program. Did you just say something, Jim? Okay. Then a second, Lee, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I now need a motion. We've got a MOA for the a stipend for the cafeteria workers for our summer school program. Need that. Thank you, Andrew. Ira, I'm gonna take Ira.
Second.
Yep, thank you. Oh, I see now. That's my job. Any discussion on that? Sorry. Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion for the SEAT contract. Thank you, Andrew. And a second?
Sorry.
Jim, thank you. Any discussion on that? No? Okay, so all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to approve the agreement with Cattaraugus County for the independent evaluations for preschool children. Thank you, Lee. Second,
So moved.
thank you, Ira.
No dogs this time.
No. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion for the non-financial services, the New York State Association of Regional Council, blah, 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 for our community pre-vocational services.
Say that again.
I know. And blah, blah, blah. Thanks, Jim. Second. Thanks, Lee. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We have a contract with Shannon Haskins for sign language interpretation consultant services. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Julio. These every year. with these people. So, any discussion?
Why do we have a maximum of 15 days every year? And it's needed for the technical.
Election purposes.
Yeah, it's it. Up to 6 hours per day for a maximum of 15 days. We have other ones too. Maybe I don't.
So if we have to exceed that, then we'll change the number.
Well, yeah, let's approve some more. Need it.
There we go. Thank you though, Jim. For asking that. So I will call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now we've got the contract with Brittany Hutley, I think it is, again, for the same kind of consultant services.
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. Second, thanks, Jim. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Down to letter P, and we need a motion for audiology solutions for the next school year.
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Jim. Any discussion?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate it's not a local provider. We
Um,
have some good ones in the neighborhood.
I don't know why we, oh, probably.
The responsibility of the taxpayer.
Yeah, this is true too. Thank you, Ira, for pointing that out. We like to try to stay local when we can. All those in favor?
Hey,
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Oh, look at, now we need a motion for a memorandum of understanding with Lutheran Social Services for the foster grandparent program at Eastview and Washington West and Links. Thanks, Lee. Any discussion? All those in favor?
hey,
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now we're down to our,
Just to, one more thing, audiology solutions is a local.
oh, it is?
I don't know.
Renee Andrzejewski.
Oh, yeah. It's local, Ira. Renee.
okay,
Thank you, Jenny, for giving us that information.
thank
Now
you.
we're down to policy adoption. This is our 5684 use of surveillance on school property and school buses. Okay.
I'm gonna make a motion
Gonna make a motion,
to
Andrew?
approve that one
Okay.
with,
And-
with the edit that we had.
Yes, with the changes that were recommended to us.
Yep.
From our attorney. And then we'll just make sure that we have the proper signage now that we have a policy that says that. And to get it out so that the public is aware of it in whatever publications we can. All right, well, then I'm just gonna call for the vote on that policy. All those in favor?
Hey,
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we now have policy number 5684. Now, I'm on to letter S, which is our policy 7540, suicide to be named something else.
Do we table that and just wait till we have a name for it?
No, I think we gotta work the same.
Suicide
Prevention?
Prevention, awareness, for awareness and prevention.
I had it written down.
Tell us,
Yeah, so we all.
tell us, Dan.
Come on.
Prevention, awareness, and response.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I like it too. So, who's making the motion?
I will.
There you go.
Thanks, Dan. Is there any other discussion? So, changing our title, referring back to our policies, our safety plans for all of the other procedural issues.
Apparently, we were all kind of busy, otherwise somebody else would have brought that like suicide house.
Yeah, we said it the last time. We were like, "Oh." All right, well, I'm gonna call for the vote. All those in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now we're on to personnel, number 11. I need a motion to accept the retirement resignation with deep regret for Jennifer Hendrickson, our school nurse. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Jim. Any discussion? All those in favor?
hey,
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I also need a motion to accept the resignation of Madeline Phelps, who's a load teacher here. Thanks, Jim.
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrew. Any discussion?
Just the, for all our, with their students that are resigning.
That goes for everybody, right? Yep. Yes. All right, all those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Connor Bear, elementary teacher. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Lee. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Abigail McWilliams, another LOAP teacher.
Move.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Julio. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Stephen Sorensen, ELA teacher. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Andrew. Any discussion?
I don't want to know.
We don't want any of them to go, so. All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion, oh, I gotta turn my page. To accept the resignation of our Director of Human Resources, Aaron Wolf.
So moved.
Thanks, Lee, and thanks, Jim. Any discussion?
Congratulations to Aaron. I mean, up the chain, man.
Yes. Yes. We wish everyone the very best in their new positions and wherever they're going. We certainly hope they're all very successful. So all those in favor?
Right?
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need to, a motion to accept the resignation of Jonathan Treaster as a cleaner in our school here.
So moved.
Thanks, Andrew.
So,
Thanks, Jim. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Right?
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now we'll move on to keyboard specialist appointment. We're going to increase from 11 to 12 months.
So moved.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Dan. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Right?
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried, and I need a motion to increase a teacher aide position from 4.5 hours to 5.75 hours. Julio and Lee, thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, what's the difference between 4 or 5 and 5.75?
Hour and a quarter.
That's good. You're good, I tell you. I mean, why do we have that separation?
We have still work with that.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was wondering why it was only 4.
So we have teacher aides that work 4.5, 5.75, and 7.5.
Good to know.
Yep.
I just thought it was over 5.75.
So any other discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Good night.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We're also going to increase another teacher aide position, now Jim, from 5.75 to 7.5 hours
Thanks
per
for
day.
focusing on me. I appreciate that. Makes me feel good.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Right?
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We're also going to increase another teacher aide position from 5.75 hours to 7.5 hours per day. Need a motion.
Give that to Jim. And I
Jim.
will second.
All right. Jim,
I like how we have.
seconded by
that whole-
Andrew. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now I need a motion to appoint Tyler Austin as a cleaner. Thanks, Lee. And a second.
Sure.
Thanks, Jim. Any discussion? Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to appoint Maxwell Portlow as a cleaner. Thank you, Andrew. And Julio, was that you down there? Or Dan? Sorry. I was like listening and not looking. Any discussion?
Who was that? I'm sorry. who was
I
the
think
second?
it was Dan, Andrew and Dan, is that correct? Any discussion on that? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. Now we're going to, I need a motion to appoint Mariah Farrington as a teacher aide.
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Jim. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to appoint Kyla Jackson as a teacher aide. Okay, Ira, thank you. And who seconded it? I'm sorry. Julio, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need to recommend a motion to approve or appoint Ashley Mott as a teacher aide.
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. Lee, was that you? Any discussion? Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. And now I need a motion to appoint Ashley Moody as a teacher aide. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Dan, and who was seconded? Jim, was it you over there? Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I need a motion to appoint Trinity Ramsey as a food service helper.
So moved.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Jim. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We have an elementary teacher appointment, Kelly Everett.
So moved.
Thanks, Andrew. Julio, thank you so much. Any discussion? Just wanted to check. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. And now this is for Alyssa Potter as a school counselor. Jim? And Ira, gotcha. Second. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? I actually, let me go back because I do see that says Karen Odell there. So I guess I knew I'd seen it somewhere. So what's going on?
That appointment you just created?
Yeah.
This is the person who's taking that position.
So
Well,
she's
Alyssa-
taking,
So Karen's going for Danny Brooks.
okay, that's what I was trying to
There
get
we
to. That's what I was just trying to get to. Okay, so that's, all right, so.
Yeah.
Karen is gonna take.
Yeah.
She's moving into Danny's position. And now that opens up, so,
So we created a
and
counselor
so,
position instead of a TOSA, and we're putting,
so there's no more TOSA.
and Alyssa's going into that
Which I like.
position.
It's hard to discuss things prior to people being appointed.
I get it.
Right.
I get it. I knew I had seen it, but when I tried to go back through it, I couldn't I was trying to remember, when we discussed it. Okay, all right. So, because I thought for sure we were replacing Karen without, somebody was taking Karen's position, so, all right. Okay, so, do we all vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? All right, so, welcome aboard, Alyssa. Great. Now I need a motion to appoint Ryan McClellan as an ELA teacher in points, a long-term substitute
So
for
moved.
the year. Andrew? Jim? Any discussion? So is this because we can't find a certified teacher? Ryan has been in this position for 3 years now.
Ideally, we would like to have certified teachers. All certified.
Is there a limit to how long you can be a long-term substitute teacher every year?
I don't believe so.
No? And so, and it's just, we just keep renewing him at a step one, is that right?
We want to review that policy. Well, not policy. Our fee schedule. The operations handle.
But they're not certified.
They're not certified, so
Yeah.
they can't.
Right. Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We had 2 star program appointments. They're just about done, I think, aren't they? So let's get them on here.
I'll move that.
Abigail and Steven. Jeepers, like to get paid.
So, yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Jim. Any discussion on that? All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. We need, I need a motion for Shelley Baldwin. It's an elementary childhood
Just
teacher.
an amendment. I'll motion.
Yes, and the amendments are, oh, Andrew, let's do it first here. And who was seconded?
I will,
Okay, Ira, thank you.
sure.
So any discussion? Yes, we, I think we had what, September 1st on there? And our first day back to school is August 31st. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you're gonna see that the next,
Few of those.
all of them are just changing the date on it so that they can come on in on August 31st. So this is the first of a number of them. So any other discussion or questions on that? Okay, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. You're gonna see the next one applies to Aaron Martin. Need a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Lee. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. The next one is Olivia McWilliams. Need a motion? Thanks, Jim. Need a second, Andrew? Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? That motion is carried. And Marissa Olson.
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. And who seconded it? Julio, thank you so much. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. And then this is our AA technology teacher appointment, Scott Brzezinski.
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew. Julio? Any discussion?
Scott was a former employee. She's coming back.
He was. So Rick always told us he'd be back,
And here he is.
and there he is. Very nice. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Right?
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. As you can see, we have a list of informational items for your perusal. And is there any other reason for us to go into executive session now? No?
Like that.
That's great. So then I will entertain a motion to adjourn from our regular board meeting.
So move.
Thank you, Andrew. Dan,
Look how they battle for
no discussion? All those in favor?
it.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is carried. I thank you all very much for your time this evening.
Good night, everyone. Be well and be
Thank you.
kind.
Thank you, Ira.
Vicky, did you get the motion to come out of executive session?
Yeah. Did you get that?